In this episode of Sailing Nandji, we hand steer our way from Noumea, New Caledonia, through the Loyalty Islands and across the deep Hebrides Trench to Tanna Island, Vanuatu, completing a 250 nautical mile sail.
This is our path from Noumea, past the Loyalty Islands. This is to Anatol, but we're actually going to this island up here, Tanna. And it's just showing the wind. So the blue's 10 knots, the green's 15 knots. When we clear customs, you have the option to get duty-free, tax-free fuel. So yeah, we don't need a lot of fuel, but we got to utilise that little bargain when you can. That tax-free little incentive that the government gives you for when you're leaving, you get 30% off. So that's 30% off your fuel, though. We just saved a fair bit of coin. It was well worth doing. Old fella out there solo. Legend.
Sailing out of Noumea in a steadily increasing 15-knot trade wind, we had a 35 nautical mile sail to reach a protected anchorage and wait for the tide to change. It was a race against time as the afternoon trade winds had been blowing strong for days.
Well, that southeast has picked up pretty solid this morning. It's only 10 o'clock and we're already got 20-25, so might get splashed here. And we got a real short, choppy sea. So we didn't get as far down as around the bottom of New Cal, down the coast as we would have liked. So there was a bay we were trying to get to. So yeah, we're just going to have to stop here and hide away for the afternoon. We'll just have to get up real early tomorrow to be able to make the Havana Pass on the right tide. So we had to go get fuel water this morning and it put us a couple of hours behind our schedule, but oh well, get that with the big jobs.
We're copping over 30 knots now. She's got wet. So we filled up the head sail and put the staysail up. Oh my god! Yeah,
So what are we sailing under?
A staysail and a reef main. Yeah. So you just notice the difference straight away when we change the sail over. The boat's handling a lot better and we're going faster. So there you go.
Deciding to hide from the strong winds, we found shelter in Bay Ui, just west of Canal Wooden. Like clockwork, the trade winds eased and it was time to keep moving.
We sailed as far as we could today in the 30-knot winds. We got to this canal that we need to go through with big hills on either side, so the wind just rips through there. And we had the wind ripping through and the current coming through as well, so there's no way that we would have made any ground up that. We probably would have went backwards really quickly. So yeah, we anchored just at a bay near it and had a sleep. So we're well rested and we've got about 15 nautical miles to get to our next spot where we need to wait for the current to get out of that pass as well. So yeah, that's what we're doing. It's like about 8:30 at night and the current is going the right way now and the winds have eased off. So yeah.
And we got a big old moon.
We've got a big moon, yes.
We've been going for a few hours. We've made it through the canal between the mainland and the island, the skinny bit, but it's pretty choppy on the other side here. It's 11:30. As long as we get there, drop anchor before 3 so we can get another 4 hours sleep, we'll be laughing.
It's 3 a.m. We've just made it to our anchorage. This is the last stop that we're making in New Caledonia. Tomorrow morning we'll be getting up and then at around 8:30 I think there's a passage that we need to get through of the lagoon and we can only do it on an outgoing tide which should be at around 8:30 tomorrow morning. So we'll get a good night's sleep tonight and yeah, get up and then head for Vanuatu. Yay! Yay! The day's finally come!
What are we doing?
Sailing to Vanuatu. Goodbye, New Caledonia. It's very exciting.
What do we got to do first?
Put some sails up. So well, we have to wait for the tides to be going out. We're going through Havana Passage and the current comes through there at 4 knots. So yeah, 8:30 the current's going out, and that's when we're going out too. Under a full main and motor, the tidal current sucked us out of Havana Passage. Once in open water, we hoisted all sails and settled into the journey ahead. With a gentle breeze and smooth seas, we waved goodbye to New Caledonia.
The most important bit about going offshore, it's not your safety or your sails or your motor, it's about having your fishing gear ready. I reckon a mahi would nail that bad boy. So what are you doing for the next 2 days and 2 nights?
Pretty much the same. And eating? Yeah.
That's the spot.
This is the spot. Yep. Good old hand steering across the ocean.
That's the devil. Your eyes play some pretty weird tricks on the old compass. Early morning, so many faces appear in this guy here. That's our light because I couldn't seem to fix the wiring.
You gonna put the kettle on?
Yes, Captain.
Yoshi's down there having a sneeze. It's not a long distance, only just over 200 nautical miles, but we've got back into the swing of our routine of taking turns in shifts. So I'm up now. I've just had a sleep, and Yoshi's down at the moment because it might not be very far, but we still want to be alert and feeling good for those night watches as well, since we're hand steering, and yeah, it's easy to fall out of a routine, so we're trying hard to fall into one. The boat's perfectly balanced, so Nandji pretty much sails herself today.
Show me the GPS track of what happened when you were on watch last.
It's a bit embarrassing, but
It looks like a bit of a circle there, Benita.
I really wanted a snack, and I can't, like, I'm hand steering and Yosh was asleep. I didn't want to wake him up, so I thought I balanced the boat and it was holding its course, and I thought I've got a little bit of time here to run down and get something, and the snack wasn't where it was meant to be, and so by the time I came back up again, we'd turned around and we were hove to, we were going backwards.
And you woke me up.
It was just like 30 seconds, that's all I needed. Like, it's this hand steering business.
Oopsie doozy.
Yeah.
Show us again. Nandji's trusty passage crossing bed.
I'm trying so hard to sleep, but I'm not tired at all.
Guess you should cook dinner.
I know I should be sleeping, but I can't. I'm on my first night shift. I don't normally have this light on, I just have it on so you can see me. Normally sail in complete darkness so that you can see any lights on the horizon of the boats. Yeah, and we have about 10 knots of wind. We're doing 4.5 knots. I've got my PFD on and I'm harnessed in. Got my warmies on. Yosh is downstairs having a sleep, and yeah, that's about it. I'm just staring at this compass for hours.
Sun's just starting to poke its head up on the horizon. We've reached the Loyalties. We're sailing between Lifu to the left and Mare to the right. There's a few little islands in the middle here, and there's a lot Tigger, which is pretty well smack bang in front of us. We're trying to make it so it's not in front of us. We were chatting to a follower we met in Noumea, Remy, and he was saying his mate was sailing through here and he crashed into a pinnacle around Il Tigger. So yeah, it's real deep water. We were saying it was a couple of 100 metres deep, and then yeah, the pinnacle come right up to the surface. So we're a bit nervous about navigating it in the dark, but the wind dropped out a couple of hours ago, so we've just been doing a couple of knots, so we should be alright. Hopefully we can see that sort of stuff now. Pretty tired already. And then another day and a night, a day to go.
It's day 2 of our sail to Vanuatu. There's not much to tell. It's about 8:30 in the morning. Josh has just gone down to sleep. He did 4 hours instead of 2 hours last night because he thought I needed to sleep. How nice is that? So yeah, I might return the favour to him this morning. I've got some breakfast, some oats, a coffee and some juice. The winds have completely died. And I'm doing like 1.6 knots, so barely moving, but yeah, I refuse to turn the motor on. I hate that thing, so we're just gonna deal with it, and yeah, it's all part of sailing. So
yeah, fishy, 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 fishy. Shower time! How blue is that? The trick is not let go and get caught on the fishing lure. It's now nearly 1 o'clock and we still haven't got any wind. We've got a good angle, all sails are filled, they look good, feels like we're moving. But you look and we're only doing like 1.5 knots just because of the current that goes through here. So it's a bit of an uphill battle until we get wind. We don't want to use the motor. We're having a motor-free passage. It's very tempting to turn it on though.
2 knots! Woohoo! I've never been excited in my whole life to be going 2 knots in sort of the right direction. After hours of bobbing around, doing 1 knot, we finally have started moving again. We're doing 2.7 knots now, so
we're flying!
yeah, it's good for the sanity. Look how flat she is.
Frozzy, 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 channel 16, property over.
Frozzy, this is Nandji. How you going? In the middle of the big blue, we got a call on the radio from friends on the same crossing but going the other way. Excited to chat, I jumped on the radio but soon realised we need a new handset as they could not hear us. Daunting at first, we tried to shrug this feeling of being in the middle of the ocean with no radio. With a setting sun, we prepared the boat for the night ahead. We dropped the staysail and depowered the boat in case conditions changed at night. Usually we would reef the main, but with the calm weather and a full moon, it would not be hard to change sails at night if needed.
The flasher was gone. Whoa! Did you lose it? Good.
Around 2 o'clock last night, I was doing the maths and we're only moving at about 4 knots, 3.5 knots, so I was a bit worried that we wouldn't be able to get there, or in the light time anyway. I was worried we were going to get there in the dark. And we're doing a bit of maths now. The wind's picked up as soon as the sun's come up. We've got a nice 13 knots on the beam. We're hooking it, 5.5, 6 knots. We keep this up, Nandji, we'll arrive in the sunshine. Land ahoy! Yee-hoo!
That's all we wanted. That's all you got? There's definitely land through those clouds. I don't reckon you guys will be able to see it yet. Maybe not. But yeah, it looks like there's some rain up ahead. That's a squall over there.
It's a good feeling when you spy land for the first time when you've been at sea for a couple of days. Just that feeling of my navigating is up to scratch and we're not just sailing around aimlessly. But then when you do see that land for that first time, like for example where we're going, it's like a big hill and that. So you can see it 40 miles off, but then you spend the next 10 or 12 hours looking at that land trying to get there. Like, that's sailing, I suppose.
We've got a little bit of weather going on around us, so we've decided to just furl up the head sail a little bit until we pass it. We feel like squalls and patches of rain and stuff. So. And there it is, it started raining on me. How could I possibly sail without being rained on? Jeez.
How convenient, my watch just ended.
Ah, that is very convenient.
We're like 20 miles off, we're just looking at this big old island, this volcano, there's big hills, it looks amazing. But we can't get there because we got no wind. So, how we were travelling, we were kicking along at 5 to 6 knots, so we were like, if we kept doing that we would have got there at about 4:30 in the arvo. We're looking the goods, but now with these sails flapping, we're only doing 2 knots now. We might need to spend another night just drifting out here or something.
Luckily, we didn't have to wait long for the wind to return. With 15 knots at our backs, our spirits were high as the passage was nearly complete. Then one last bit of excitement with that marlin that got away. He's on. Is it on?
He spat it, no.
Oh, spewing. Oh, yes!
Oh, yes!
Has he got it?
He's fucking still got that. Yeah. Pretty excited to get into port. We're going to get there in daylight too, so I'm pretty happy about that. Look at this joint. Imagine this is your home. You're kidding.
We made it!
Yeah. Finally.
I know, finally.
Perfect timing.
Sun's going down. This is like our first sunset in Vanuatu. Most important job, got to fly your yellow flag.
Oh!
We can enter the country.
What's it mean?
It means I'm new to the country, and I haven't passed quarantine yet.
Come and check me in.
Check me in.
I'm here.
Hello. This one's seen a few winds.
A few kilometres already.
A few nautical miles.
You. We had an awesome passage. Weather, you couldn't have asked for anything better. We didn't break anything. One of those amazing little passages. But then as we get in, we start the engine and it revs higher. So this, I don't know, I think there's something wrong with the accelerator cable. And we've gone to turn the lappy on.
Oh, customs.
Customs clearance, this is Nandji.
Nandji, are you ready for clearance?
Yes, we are, thank you.
Can you just come ashore on the beach behind the local boat where you will see the people on the beach? That's where you can find customs.
Excellent, thank you very much.
Excited we could communicate on our radio, we got our passports and documents ready, then headed to land to check into Vanuatu. We made it! We are in Vanuatu! Can't believe it!
Yeah, we had a really good passage crossing and hand steering for days. It's just something that we do now.
Yeah, it just seems normal now. You start
normal.
sailing and you...
But I think that's the problem, it feels too normal. So hopefully with the assistance from you guys, we can get this wind vane on the back of Nandji. We only need 1,000 more US to raise to be able to make that happen. And
yeah. We've got like a big sail ahead of us. Cyclone season is about to start here, and we're in a cyclone area, so we need to continue travelling further north. And
so it's over 900 nautical miles we need to sail, and we'll do that in the following weeks.
Yeah.
So hopefully we don't need to hand steer that,
Yes.
but we will if we have to.
Yeah, you know us, we'll hand steer if we have to. But yeah.
But hopefully with all your guys' help we can get we can raise the funds needed to be able to get a new wind vane on the back of Nandji. So
we'll put a link in the description below if you want to help us out. And
we'd really appreciate it.
yeah. We've got a few new patrons that have jumped on board the Sailing Nandji family. Thanks to you, legends.
Yeah, cheers, Ricky, Matt, Jack and David. Good on you, legends.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers for getting on board.
We're in Vanuatu. The next episode, I got a bit excited in the last episode, but the next episode we have the full Vanuatu experience.
Yeah, so check out the links in the description below, and yeah, we appreciate all your help.
Cheers, guys.
Ow!
See ya.